Alright everyone, I'm going to ask you to bear with me for this lecture because it's going to probably take a long time to download all this stuff, but it's probably going to be worth it because you'll get over 100 free tree models. There's no trees in Megascans because it's very difficult to scan something that is moving, right? And they scan their objects. But someone put together a whole library of trees for free. That being said, I had kind of a difficult time downloading it, getting everything downloaded. So I wanted to show you just all the stuff that you'll need to do to get this. So someone put this up on the Unreal forums. This is also a great place to find some free stuff at any time, not just trees. And they left a link to download it for free. They left some images of all the different trees that it comes with. And so the link is to Gumroad, and you can get it for free. You just type in the number 0. You don't have to type in anything above 0 if you don't want to, but if you want to support the artist, then you can. Once you type in 0 on Gumroad, and I'll link this, then you click I want this, and it'll open up a page where you're able to download it after you put in your email address. So when you download it, you'll get a RAR file, which is different than a zip file. And if you're on Windows, as I am, you can't automatically extract a RAR file unless you have something like WinZip. But good news, there is a free unzipping software for RAR files called Zipware, and I'll link this as well. It's completely free and it didn't take that long to set up even. But once you get that, then you're going to need to unzip that RAR file with this program Zipware. And when you do that, you will get a folder that looks like this. And in here, there is a project called trees_library.u project. And you're going to double click on this and it's going to start opening it up. But it's going to prompt you to install a plugin for Unreal, which you can get on the marketplace. And there's a button that's going to ask if you want to be taken there now. You're going to click yes. Then you'll be taken to this plugin. You're going to install it, and then you're going to click install to engine. And then you're going to choose your version and install it to that engine. And once you do that, you're going to go back to the folder and open up the U project again. And it's going to take a long time. And there's going to be another pop-up that says that another plugin is missing. Do you want to continue without it? And you're going to click yes to that too. And then it's going to take a long time to open because there's lots and lots of models in here. But once it does, this is what you'll get. And you may be thinking that these don't immediately look maybe as realistic as the Megascans library, but the fact of the matter is we can tweak these things to make them more realistic. I'm a fan of the leaves. That's not what I'm really worried about. But let's say for the trunks, you can actually swap out the trunk materials with Megascans bark materials. And as for the coloring of the leaves, if you don't like the coloring, we can edit that as well, and I'll show you how to do that. But first, we need to bring all of these trees in this project into our main project. So here's how you're going to do that. You're going to go into the content folder for this, and you're going to right click on this trees folder. You're going to click migrate. Once this window pops up, you're going to click OK. And then it's going to ask you where you want it to be migrated. Now go into your grassy field project and go into your content folder in that grassy field project. And then you're going to click select folder. And then it's going to migrate all of these assets over to your folder over here. It's going to be under nature assets and trees. And then they will all be there. They're all here. So with that being said, let's say you want a certain type of tree. You're going to go into your trees library project that's open now, and now you can just fly through and see what kind of trees would be cool for this area. So just look around and find one that you really like and think would look good. I like these over here. To be honest, it doesn't really matter because you're going to be changing a lot of them. Try to focus more on trunk shape for this because we have a lot more control over the leaf color than we have over the trunk shape specifically. So I'm just going to choose, that one looks fine. I mean, we can pick more of these as we go. So I'm going to right click on the asset in the 3D view and click Browse to Asset. This is elm_01. So now I go in here, go into the Elm folder, Meshes, Elm 1. And now we have a giant elm tree. And we're going to scale that down, click R, scale down. And as you can tell, it doesn't immediately mesh with the scene super well. That's because the leaves are a bright color. So we're going to fix this. So click on the tree, and then right on the side here on the details panel, you'll see element 1 and you'll see leaves. So double click on that and you'll see what the leaf material actually looks like. But there's another panel over here, another details panel, and you're going to click on leaves diffuse. When you double click on that, you'll get this window open. Now I like to drag this just to the side just a little bit so that I can see the leaf color. And then scroll down and you can just start editing the brightness under adjustments here. So I think I want the brightness to be down. What I'd like to do here is try and match the color with the grass color. So it looks like we need a little more saturation and vibrance perhaps. And the brightness curve, if you bring it up, it's going to become less bright actually. That's something I noticed. You can also adjust the hue. So let's say you want fall leaves. I'm probably gonna have to turn the saturation down, but as you can see, I can make the leaves here turn orange. So that looks pretty similar to what I want, except I don't want it to be orange, I want it to be green. So that's that. I may end up bringing the brightness down a little bit just to match a little more. I think I want it to be a little more bright, but saturated. And again, this is going to take a lot of tweaking, so I'm going to do a little more tweaking, and I'll be back when I'm done. Alright, so I actually swapped out my tree for a different one. I used an oak one, and then I messed around with the leaves, and I think I have something that I like. Very nice. And as for the trunk, what I did here, let me just copy and paste another one. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and I just drag it out where I want it to be. And here we can see that the trunk is different than it used to be. And that's because I swapped it out with a Megascans trunk. I went to Bridge and I got this old oak tree bark, and I swapped it for what was originally the bark for this tree. Now I had to do something here. I had to click on this material and I had to adjust the tiling. I have it set to 2.0 right now because at 1.0 it was stretched kind of weird. So let me just illustrate this for you. Tiling basically says how many times we're going to repeat this texture over the same amount of space. So at a tile of 1.0, if I save it, you can see that the bark divots increases are very spread across the surface. And if we have a tile of 3, you can see that it's spread out a little more. A lot more actually, too much. So I settled with 2. That seemed like the right balance. So that was how I did this tree, and you can add a lot more trees. So thanks for bearing with me when getting these trees. I think it's an incredible resource as well as Megascans. Now that we have a lot of the stuff downloaded, it's really going to come down to just placing things in the scene. Now let's build out this scene even more.